Another trade review. Today is the 20th February. Profit on the day was 2.42% off of three trades, basically two trades. Pretty much can just disregard the last trade. That was just a super small scalp that was in the moment. All my trades were on SPY, as you can see. And a little bit of an interesting day for me personally. So when we go into SPY, we had pre-market, not too much movement, as you can see from yesterday close. Bounced up a couple times. So looking for it to kind of test this channel right here, and it did. Right on open pretty much. Going over back to open. See 930. Like it was consolidating a little bit. Of course, the volume doesn't show up as well on here as it does in the moment. But pretty much on open, not too long after, was looking to find a small bounce. We were oversold here when I got in. So I got in right here, about 948. And actually found a little bit of what looked like possible support, and pretty much saw this huge decline. First of all, this was a pretty big decline, about $1 in the matter of 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes. So by the time I even tried to get out of the position, it was continuously just rapidly. Of course, I'm on the 1-minute chart right now, going down. 5-minute chart, wasn't really specifically looking at, but you see still even a lot of red even before I got in. So I was just looking for a small bounce back. Really wasn't anticipating any huge moves. News came out earlier today, throughout the day, but never there was anything that was, in my mind, going to cause it to go up or down a lot. But it did, at least on SPY and QQQ as well. Right now they're about both the same. So going back to my trade, at that point I made a decision just to hold it until the next move up, whatever that was going to be, and that was right here. Now about let me double check here, but I think it was about 953. Yeah, 953 is when I got in my second position, which this time was a put, which it was $4 a difference in strike price between what my call was and my put was, which is pretty large. So this move was about $5. So came up a little bit. I got out of this position, and then at this point, since I had got in right here, once it came up and then moved back down a little bit, I was in the green. Whereas this time I was pretty deeply in the red. Kind of made a split second decision that this was going to be the trend. Stayed oversold for about 15 minutes, a little over 15 minutes. But at this point, made the decision that I was just going to hold it, and that's where I got this profit from. I took a relatively large loss, but an even bigger gain, and my gain was on a smaller position size. As you can see, 6 contracts compared to 4 was my second position. And pretty much sold that one near the bottom, at least right here. So sold it at about 10 o'clock, so right about down here. So I'm pretty satisfied with where I got out. Of course, there was still about 50 cents here. But at that point, this was a lot of in the moment trading. Saw it come close to this level that I had much sooner than expected, but I decided to get out, resulted in a small profit. So I was in 2 trades at once at one point. Took the loss on the first one and then the gain on the second one. Haven't seen this rapid and steep of a drop in a little bit. It just kind of goes to show that things can change very quickly. Initially, I was just looking for a small pop up and then a continuation back down, but it did not do that, of course. And I definitely could have done a better job of getting out of this trade earlier. It passed through what my stop loss was, which of course my stop loss is not automatically executed for me. I'm closing the trade myself. So it pretty much just flew right through, and I decided to just look for the next little move up. I mean, there can only be so much red in a row before you'll see green. And you see at the bottom we bounced. Didn't quite come down to the 607 level, but pretty steep drop to begin. And those are my only two trades other than my last trade, which I won't really talk about. Pretty much just broke even on that one. Definitely did not need to take the last trade, but 2 very big trades earlier. And right now we returned. I think we're close to where. Okay, yeah. Close to open yesterday is where the levels are at right now, which is kind of interesting. So we'll have to look for the possibility of a move up towards yesterday's previous levels or another move down. It is currently 5:19, so I've yet to chart for today, or I guess for tomorrow, but chart today for tomorrow. Seemed like we're kind of in a mix of red and green on the market as well. Did not do any QQQ trades on QQQ, but of course it's going to look similar to what SPY did. So that's it for today. Some big lessons to take away for me personally. At one point I was very steep in the red, which is a dangerous position to be in mentally. Being very deep in the green or the red, you tend to get more emotional, but luckily the situation panned out for me. Was still able to take a small profit and ended the morning pretty good.